TaxAct's filing software and live tax experts can help small businesses easily knock out their taxes. Actually, our experts can help you find deductions and credits for any sized business. Itty-bitty businesses, medium-sized, really big, mid-sized, small businesses, companies with 0 employees, and mom-and-pop conglomerates. Yep, our tax experts can help all of them. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. Today we are discussing a really messed up situation that happened in 2010. There's only a few months, but it's been talked about a lot lately. We're in December with the end of 2024. Lulu just woke up. It keeps being referenced that, Brook Lynn tried to break her and Dante up one time. So we've decided to discuss Brook Lynn trying to break up Lulu and Dante.
Right.
Not the best working title.
But as we've said, Lulu doesn't have a reason to be mad right now. This happened back in 2010. She got in her coma in 2020. 10 years had already passed. What are we doing? I don't understand why she's still so angry. She's not angry at Carly, which is who started all of this.
Mm-hmm.
She's only mad at Brook Lynn.
And not only was it 14 years ago, 10 years before her coma, since her coma, or before her coma, she and Dante were divorced, and she was dating somebody else so she was still in love with Dante, and that's a whole other thing, but...
Right, but he wasn't with Brook Lynn then.
He wasn't with Brook Lynn, and she was dating this other guy to the point where he was proposing to her.
Right.
So, even though right before her coma, she had told Maxie that she was going to tell Dante that she still loved him and all these things, that is absolutely, but Brook Lynn had been around. There was nothing.
It's not like Brook Lynn was the reason they got divorced. It wasn't like Brook Lynn tried to take him and then they got married and Brook Lynn kept inserting herself and then they got divorced because of Brook Lynn, or even that after they got divorced, the Brook Lynn was like, hey, you're available again. That never happened.
Right. So the fact that we're bringing this up again and making it such a hostile point just tells me something's going to happen. And we should just give a little bit of a background, because the quick overview is, like you mentioned, Carly, and they've mentioned it on the show, Carly paid Brook Lynn to try to seduce Dante away from Lulu. And you're like, what?
Right.
So it all started in May of 2010. To give a little bit of a backstory, I felt like we still had to touch on what happened before all of this, because you had to understand, why'd Carly do that?
Right.
So on May 10th, 2010, Dante went home to his loft, took out his gun and badge, and laid them on a table. As he was looking at them, Carly entered on the elevator. She asked him if he was considering a career change, because you just take your gun and your badge off, therefore you are giving up your job. She then picks up his gun and pointed it at his heart and said, it's a little late for that, don't you think? At least where Michael's concerned. And then she started venting about Michael's prison sentence. So this was after Michael had been found guilty of killing Claudia Zaccara.
Mm-hmm.
And Dante calmly took the gun from Carly, and then he pointed out that all she had to do was wait for Jason to take care of things. Dante apologized that his actions had led to Michael's arrest and conviction. He understood everyone's anger, including Jason's, but Dante refused to allow Jason to kill him. Carly surprised Dante by admitting that it was her fault that Michael had been sent to Pentonville.
Her fault. She said it.
Her fault. Carly and Dante sat down in the living room as Carly opened up about how she had fallen in love with Sonny when Michael had been a baby. Carly told herself that everything would be fine because Sonny was a wonderful and caring father. In the end, though, it had been Carly's decision to raise Michael in Sonny's world. Carly realized that, even as a teenager, Olivia had known better. Carly hated that Dante had told the court about what Michael had done, but she was angry at herself for putting Michael in that situation. But the thing is, Dante didn't tell the court what Michael had done in order for Michael to get in trouble. He, honest to goodness, thought that Michael confessing was going to help because wasn't Sonny on trial for the murder?
Yes.
And so it was, he thought, Michael was witnessing this woman trying to kidnap his sister. It's going to be seen as self-defense. It's going to get Sonny, found not guilty. Michael's going to maybe have to get some counseling or something. Nope. Michael gets sent to prison.
Right.
And then Dante regretted how he had hurt Morgan. So I guess this was right after everyone found out that Dante was Sonny's son too.
Mm-hmm.
Carly confessed that she liked Dante from the start. So she liked Dante because of the way he had treated Morgan. So she didn't want Dante to blame himself for anything. She intended to talk to Jason so that Dante would be safe. Olivia stopped by to check on her son shortly after Carly left. Dante admitted that he was furious because the judge had sentenced Michael to jail time. Then Lulu begged Carly to spare Dante's life, but Carly asked Lulu to stop. Carly revealed that she had just returned from Dante's loft and that she had assured him that he was safe. Lulu was stunned when Carly admitted that Lulu had been correct and Dante was a scapegoat. Carly acknowledged that she had only herself to blame for the way that Michael had been raised. Carly promised that she would talk to Jason and make certain that he understood that she did not hold Dante responsible for Michael's jail sentence. Lulu wept with grief as Carly apologized for lashing out at Lulu. Lulu was thrilled that she and Carly were able to repair their relationship. Carly hugged Lulu and then suggested that Lulu find Dante to let him know that everything would be okay. Carly's smile disappeared as soon as Lulu left. Jason told Carly not to do anything reckless while he was gone because he would not be there to protect her. Carly said that she would not do anything crazy, but that she did intend to make Dante and Lulu pay. Jason tried to discourage her, but Carly said that she would have her revenge. And then the next week at Jason's penthouse, while researching Dante's past with Spinelli on a computer, Carly recognized Brook Lynn Ashton in a picture with Dante. Carly deduced that Brook Lynn and Dante had grown up knowing each other in Bensonhurst. Carly wondered if Brook Lynn wanted to get reacquainted with Dante. So was it a romantic picture? I should have gone back and looked. Like, was it a huggy?
I don't know, because they always said that they never had a relationship like that up
Right.
until a few months ago, or a few weeks ago, whenever they said about that time that they dated.
Yep. They didn't even date. They had it the summer. So the summer camp fling or whatever. In a park, Carly found Brook Lynn trying to manipulate a pretzel vendor into giving Brook Lynn free food. Carly announced her presence by saying, "Seems like there's a thief on every corner these days." Brook Lynn wondered why Carly was in her neighborhood, and Carly revealed that she was looking for Brook Lynn. Brook Lynn demanded to know what Carly wanted from her. Carly offered Brook Lynn money and a chance to have the credit card charges disappear if Brook Lynn helped Carly with a project. "I'm going to refrain from going down that rabbit hole." Carly caught up to Brook Lynn in the park and put her plan for revenge against Dante and Lulu in motion. She questioned Brook Lynn, who had just run a scam on a hot dog vendor. Oh, this must have been like a cliffhanger. Now we're recapping the same thing. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
About her relationship to the Falconeri family and Dante in particular. When Brook Lynn told Carly that their families had been very close and that she had been the closest to Dante, Carly said she would not tell Brook Lynn's family about what she had done in the park. Carly also offered to pay off all of Brook Lynn's debts, put her up at the Metro Court, and give her a job if she could get Dante to sleep with her. When Brook Lynn wanted to know why, Carly told her that Dante was Sonny's son. She said she did not trust him and wanted to get him away from her cousin Lulu. Brook Lynn recognized her valuable bargaining position and told Carly that she was not a prostitute and would not sleep with Dante for the money alone. She told Carly that she was a singer and she did not want to work as a clerk. Carly agreed to have a cabaret night at the hotel and in the hotel lounge and give her a tryout, as well as buy all of her clothes if Brook Lynn would pursue Dante, and Brook Lynn agreed.
Carly caught up with Lulu before she left Crimson to meet Dante at Jake's. Carly told Lulu that she had rethought her earlier advice and had changed her mind. Carly told Lulu that it would be better if she kept the truth of her abortion from Dante. Carly told Lulu that she was sure that... What? Carly told Lulu... Oh, Carly told Lulu that she was as sure that Dante's feelings for Lulu would change if he knew that she had chosen to have an abortion when she was a pregnant, unwed teen. Outside Jake's, Dante heard a familiar voice singing "When You Wish Upon a Star." When he entered the bar, Dante caught sight of Brook Lynn as she sang. They smiled at each other. When the song ended, Brook ran into Dante's arms. Johnny was curious who this mystery woman was. Nearby, Maxie pulled Dante away from Brook Lynn when she spotted them hugging. Dante explained to Maxie that Brook Lynn was a friend from Bensonhurst. Maxie revealed that she already knew Brook Lynn Ashton. Johnny and Ethan walked up while Maxie explained that Brook Lynn had once lived in Port Charles. Maya quickly introduced herself to her cousin when she overheard Maxie mention that Brook Lynn was a quartermain. Moments later, Lulu entered the bar. Lulu was startled when she recognized Brook Lynn standing next to Dante. Lulu realized that she should have guessed that Dante had known Brook Lynn because the Cirillos and Falconeris were from the same neighborhood in New York City. Brook Lynn was surprised to learn that Dante and Lulu were in a relationship with each other. She was curious how Lulu and Dante had met. Lulu explained that Dante had saved her life on 2 occasions. Brook Lynn was eager to hear the details, but Dante decided to change the subject by letting Brook Lynn know that he had discovered that Sonny was his father. Brook Lynn was shocked by the news, but she recovered quickly as Dante credited Lulu for helping him deal with the ramifications of having a criminal for a father. Brook Lynn observed that Lulu had come a long way from trying to steal Dylan away from Georgie. Dante seemed oblivious to the sudden tension between Lulu and Brook Lynn. He joked that he wasn't the only person that Brook Lynn had dirt on. Lulu explained that she and Dante had plans and then dragged Dante away. Nearby, Maxie grumbled to Johnny, Ethan, and Maya that she had never liked Brook Lynn. Maxie's opinion hadn't changed. Maxie found it curious that Brook Lynn had suddenly turned up at Jake's and then promptly headed to the microphone to sing. Johnny suggested that Maxie lighten up. He didn't think that there was anything wrong with Brook Lynn. Johnny excused himself when he noticed Brook Lynn order a drink at the bar. Olivia entered Jake just as Johnny offered to buy Brook Lynn a beer. When Olivia joined Johnny, she made a point of draping her arm over Johnny's shoulder. Oh, this is also weird and gross. Olivia plastered on a smile as she asked what Brook was doing at Jake's. Olivia's possessiveness didn't escape Johnny or Brook Lynn's notice, but neither commented on it. Brook Lynn chatted about some of the people that she and Olivia knew in Bensonhurst. Olivia chuckled until Brook Lynn mentioned someone who was dating a man half her age. Olivia immediately sobered as Brook rushed to clarify that she didn't have a problem with older women dating younger men. Olivia relaxed when Maxie asked to speak to Brook Lynn in private. Maxie claimed that she wanted to catch up with Brook Lynn. Brook Lynn took the opportunity to question Maxie about Lulu and Dante's relationship, and Maxie made it clear that Lulu and Dante were in love. Lulu and Dante returned to the loft. Dante confessed that seeing Brook Lynn had made him realize how little he knew about Lulu's past. Lulu's silence worried him. He sensed that something had been bothering her for some time. Lulu confessed that she had to tell him something, but she was reluctant to discuss it because she didn't want him to see her in a different light. Dante assured Lulu that she could tell him anything. Nothing would change how he felt about her. Lulu's eyes filled with tears as she revealed that she had once been obsessed with Dylan, the guy that Brook Lynn had mentioned. She confided that Dylan had been her first and that they had had sex. She discovered she was pregnant. Dante was quiet as Lulu tearfully confessed that she had been terrified at the prospect of raising a child, so she had made the only decision that she could at that time, and Lulu admitted that she had an abortion. Dante surprised Lulu by assuring her that he loved her and respected her all the more for having made a difficult choice. Dante knew Lulu's heart, so he was confident that Lulu had done what she had thought was best. Dante promised that he loved her and that nothing would ever change that, and Lulu smiled with relief as Dante hugged her. So if we're going to say that Brook Lynn had a baby with Dante, then Dante can't know that she gave the baby up for adoption or anything else, right?
Right.
Because he's like all about, it's fine, personal choice, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Brooke met up with
But
Carly.
still, it's going to mess him up that all that we've known about Dante is he's a good guy.
Right. But they're going to like
So-
compare it, like Sonny found out about him late in the game, and so now he's going to find out about this baby, like that's not a baby anymore, late in the game and trying to be a dad. It's going to be so weird. They really need to change the storyline.
Yep. Agreed.
So I'll finish this real quick. Brook Lynn met up with Carly. Brook Lynn revealed that she had reunited with Dante, but there had been a snag. Brook Lynn warned Carly that Dante wasn't the type to stray from the woman he loved. Carly wasn't interested in hearing Brook Lynn's excuses. She offered to pay Brook Lynn a $50,000 bonus if Brook Lynn was able to secure video footage of Dante cheating on Lulu. She just needs a nanny cam. She call up Michael.
Right?
So then Dante arrives moments after Olivia and Carly had left the restaurant. This is on 526. Brook Lynn ushers Dante to a table and then advises him to sit down because she has to tell him a few things. And then at the Metro Court restaurant, Brook Lynn and Dante sit down at the table. Dante jokes that half their neighborhood in Bensonhurst had relocated to Port Charles. Brook Lynn was surprised to learn that Ronnie Domestico was working in Port Charles. Dante changed the subject to find out why she had called him. Brook Lynn confessed that she had been concerned after she had witnessed an argument between Olivia and Johnny. Dante was silent after she revealed what she had overheard. Brook Lynn wondered if Dante was okay. He explained that Olivia had kept her secret for a long time, but Sonny was trying to use her to get to Dante. Dante assured Brook Lynn that most of the time Olivia saw Sonny for the piece of garbage that he was. Brook Lynn was startled by the venom in Dante's tone. Dante accused Sonny of being an egomaniac murderer. He personifies everything that Dante hates. Dante was curious if Brook Lynn recalled Lieutenant Pilati. Brook Lynn nodded her head. She remembered the police officer well. Brook Lynn was shocked when Dante revealed that Sonny had been responsible for Pilati's murder. She admitted that it sounded like a cosmic joke. Tell me about it, Dante agreed. Lulu entered the restaurant moments later to pick up Kate's lunch. She was surprised to see Dante and Brook Lynn. Brook Lynn greeted Lulu and then quickly excused herself. Lulu sat down and offered to grant Dante a wish. Dante smiled as he admitted that there was something that he'd like. And then Brooke bumped into Lulu on the street. Lulu was juggling bags filled with groceries. Lulu explained that she had offered Dante one wish, so he had asked her to go shopping for him. What? Like, why is that your wish? But okay. Brook Lynn confessed that it seemed like an odd request. However, to help Lulu carry bags. Lulu appreciated the help, but she insisted that it wasn't necessary. Brook Lynn ignored Lulu as she took one of the bags. Brook Lynn instantly fell in love with his loft when she and Lulu arrived to drop off the groceries. As they chatted, Brook Lynn was able to discover that Lulu worked long hours and didn't live with Dante. Brook Lynn wondered if Lulu was as in love with Dante as he seemed to be with her. Lulu smiled as she answered yes. Brook Lynn claimed that she was happy for Dante and then changed the subject. Brook Lynn had heard that Lulu had a close relationship with Carly, so Brook Lynn was curious if Lulu would do her a favor. Before Brook Lynn could explain, Dante arrived home. Lulu jumped up to greet Dante and then turned back to Brook Lynn to invite her to continue. Brook Lynn confessed that she needed a job, so she hoped that Lulu would talk to Carly about hiring Brook Lynn as a singer in the lounge. Dante thought that it was a great idea, and he offered to vouch for Brook Lynn's talent as a singer.
At the loft, Dante praised Brooke's vocal skills as he fetched 3 beers from the fridge. Lulu recalled that Brooke had issues in the past with singing for money. Brooke assured Lulu that she was over that. Dante thought it was a great idea for Lulu to talk with Carly about hiring Brook Lynn to sing at the lounge. Yeah, I can't do Brooke. Sorry.
Right? I know. I tried, and I was like, that's not her name.
Lulu was hesitant to impose on Carly after what had happened with Michael. Dante and Lulu explained how Michael had killed Claudia. Lulu revealed that Carly had been furious when Lulu had kept quiet about where Dante had stashed Michael. Dante admitted that he had stepped forward with the truth because he had sincerely believed that Michael would have received probation. Lulu admitted that Carly had recently forgiven them, but things remained a bit strained between them. Now it makes sense, Brook Lynn mumbled to herself when she realized what had motivated Carly to break up Dante and Lulu. What makes sense, Lulu wondered. Brook Lynn quickly covered the slip by claiming that she understood Lulu's hesitation to talk with Carly. Dante suggested that it would benefit Carly to hire Brooke, and so he thought that Lulu should talk with her cousin. Brook Lynn insisted that it wasn't necessary since she wasn't certain how long she would be in Port Charles. Lulu insisted that she didn't mind asking Carly to consider giving Brook Lynn a job. However, Lulu warned Brook Lynn not to get her hopes up since Carly could say no. Brook Lynn thanked Lulu and then decided to leave, but Dante invited Brook Lynn to stay for dinner. Brook Lynn accepted the offer. As she settled back down on the sofa, Brooke and Dante began to reminisce about Bensonhurst. Moments later, Lulu received a text from Kate demanding that Lulu get to the office. Dante walked Lulu to the door and then kissed her goodbye. After Lulu left, Dante turned to Brook Lynn and asked her what she planned to cook. A short time later, Sunny entered the loft. Brook Lynn stayed in the kitchen while Dante spoke to Sunny. Sunny warned Dante that Johnny was trying to start a war, and he feared that Olivia would end up being dragged down with Johnny. Sunny believed that Olivia deserved better than someone like Johnny Zakara. After Sunny left, Dante joined Brook Lynn in the kitchen. Brook Lynn admitted that she had known Sunny for a long time because Sunny and her mother Lois had grown up together. Brook Lynn realized that Dante might not like to hear it, but Sunny had always been really nice to her and her mother. Dante changed the subject by commenting on how impressed he was that she knew her way around the kitchen. You know how Gio is obsessed with Uncle Sonny? And Sonny, there's no way that, okay, if Gio is Dante's son, wait, then he would have had to have known about Dante.
You froze there for a second. Say that again.
Oh, no. If Sonny, because Sonny helped Gio's family the way that Brook Lynn's talking about right now.
Oh, so you think
And
Sunny knew?
I was thinking, would Sonny know that Gio is Dante's son? But then that means that Sonny would have had to have known that Dante was his.
Right.
So I just got a notification that my internet's unstable. So let's hope. You know what? Not even taking a chance on this. Okay, so that thought process does not work.
No. So
Okay.
Gio can't be it.
And right. Or, well, I mean, Gio could be, but Sonny could just not know that that's technically his grandson and not his whatever, wherever family person that he was helping.
Right.
Okay. Where was I? She remarked that she had heard, but he'd always been really nice to her and her mother. Dante changed the subject by commenting on how impressed he was that she knew her way around a kitchen. Brook Lynn remarked that she had heard that Sonny was an excellent cook. Dante confirmed that Sonny was practically a professional chef. He conceded that he had gotten to know a different side of Sonny while working undercover. Lulu was delighted when she bumped into Carly on the street, and she took the opportunity to ask Carly if she would consider hiring Brook Lynn. Lulu suggested that a singer like Brook Lynn would be great for Carly's business. Carly feigned confusion over why Brook Lynn would want a job when she had access to the Quartermain fortune and didn't intend to stick around Port Charles. Lulu explained that Brook Lynn wanted to work. She also thought it would be nice, after everything that had happened with Michael, if Edward had Brook Lynn around. Lulu realized almost immediately how insensitive that had sounded. Carly accepted Lulu's apology and then agreed to talk with Brook Lynn. At the loft, Dante admitted that cooking with Brook Lynn made him homesick for Bensonhurst. Brook Lynn smiled and then guided the conversation to Lulu and Carly's strained relationship. Dante hoped that the Metro Court gig would help patch things up between the cousins. Dante acknowledged that he wasn't popular with Carly or the people in Port Charles, so he hoped Brook Lynn stayed in town. He joked that she would join an exclusive list of people who liked him, Olivia and Lulu. Lulu arrived shortly after Dante and Brook Lynn sat down to eat. Lulu admitted that the aroma from dinner was amazing. Dante explained that they would have waited for Lulu, but the pasta had finished cooking sooner than expected. Dante poured Lulu a glass of wine as she sat down to join them for the meal. Lulu announced that she had managed to persuade Carly to give Brook Lynn an interview. Brook Lynn thanked Lulu as Dante filled Lulu's plate with pasta. Lulu was awed by how delicious the meal was. She had no idea that Brook Lynn was such a wonderful cook. Why haven't we seen Brook Lynn and Lois cooking?
I was going to say, didn't Brook Lynn just say to Sasha, oh my gosh, you're such an amazing cook. I can never cook like this. Yes, you can. Right.
Brook Lynn admitted that Dante had helped. Dante and Brook Lynn engaged in some good-natured ribbing as they debated whose family the recipe had belonged to. Lulu chuckled along with them. She confessed that she enjoyed having a man wait on her. Dante leaned over to kiss Lulu while Brook Lynn looked on. Later, Dante and Lulu sat on the sofa, lost in their own world. Brook Lynn observed them for several moments and then headed to the elevator. Lulu turned when she heard the elevator start up. Lulu and Dante tried to get Brook Lynn to stay, but Brook Lynn insisted that she needed to get some rest if she hoped to impress Carly. After Brook Lynn left, Lulu confessed she was delighted that she had been able to set up an interview for Brook Lynn. And I feel like it's important. We forgot to mention this. This is not Amanda Setton. This was, oh my gosh, what was her name?
I don't know that one.
I forget her name, and it was not the one that also filled in for Amanda Setton. This is a 14-year ago Brook Lynn.
Right.
Lulu once again gushed about Brook Lynn's cooking. Dante revealed that Brooke was like his mother and all of the Dante revealed that Brooklyn was like his mother and all of the other Falconeri and Cirilla women. Cooking was like breathing to them. Lulu smiled as she jokingly wondered if the boys had learned how to wait on the women. Dante chuckled as he leaned forward to kiss Lulu and then make love to her.
So then, this would be June 3rd. Lulu arrived at Crimson with a bag of leftovers that Maxie admitted smelled delicious. Lulu revealed that Brook Lynn had cooked the food, and Maxie sneered she wasn't surprised that Brook Lynn could cook. Lulu wondered why Maxie disliked Brook Lynn. As Dante walked in, Maxie admitted that she simply wasn't a fan of Brook Lynn's. Dante was curious what Maxie had against Brook Lynn. Maxie insisted that Brook Lynn was trouble. She was surprised that Lulu didn't see it. Lulu pointed out that Brook Lynn was a friend of Dante's and those were in short supply. However, more importantly, Lulu believed that people could change. In June at the Metro Court lobby, Brook Lynn was on the phone with the bank. After Brook Lynn ended the call, Carly promised that soon Brook Lynn wouldn't have to worry about money. Edward entered the hotel moments later. He was delighted to see his granddaughter, but disappointed that he had to hear about Brook Lynn's arrival from Maya instead of Brook Lynn. Edward wanted Brook Lynn to move into the Quartermain mansion, but Carly explained that she had just hired Brook Lynn and given her a place to stay until Brook Lynn found an apartment. Nonsense, Edward argued. He insisted that Carly had enough to deal with trying to get that travesty of justice overturned. Carly quickly assured Edward that Jason was watching over Michael. Edward promised that he was doing everything in his power to get his great-grandson released from prison. He then turned his attention to Brook Lynn. Edward offered to give Brook Lynn a generous allowance until the money in her trust became available. Brook Lynn was thrilled with the offer until Edward attached some strings to the money. He expected Brook Lynn to move into the mansion and to get a degree in business communications. Brook Lynn declined the offer. Edward accepted Brook Lynn's decision, but he made it clear that she could change her mind at any time. After Edward left, Brook Lynn confessed to Carly that she'd rather be paid to sleep with Dante. Dante showed up a short time later. He took the opportunity to brag about Brook Lynn to Carly. When Dante and Brook Lynn began to banter back and forth about Brook Lynn's mad skills in the kitchen, Carly decided to leave them to it. Dante stopped Carly to let her know that he intended to visit Michael in prison. He had picked up a travel book on Sicily because Morgan had mentioned that Michael enjoyed reading them. Brook Lynn admitted that she would like to see her cousin, but Dante didn't think that it would be a good idea. According to Dante, Michael didn't want a lot of visitors. Carly had to look away for a moment to collect her composure. Dante seemed oblivious, but Brook Lynn noticed Carly's reaction. After Dante left, Brook Lynn asked if Carly was okay. Carly was furious that Dante was the reason that Michael was in jail. Brook Lynn offered to leave, but Carly suggested that it was the perfect opportunity for Brook Lynn to exploit Lulu's insecurities. Carly explained that Dante was a mama's boy, so the way to Dante was through Olivia. Brook Lynn was waiting for Olivia when Olivia arrived a short time later. Brook Lynn explained that Dante and Lulu had helped her get a job at the Metro Court, so Brook Lynn wanted to repay them by preparing a special dinner for them. Olivia was happy to help out with the menu as they discussed what to make. Brook Lynn managed to enlist Olivia's help with preparing the meal. Olivia and Brook Lynn picked up what they needed and headed to Dante's loft. Brook Lynn was surprised that Olivia had a key. Olivia explained that she still did Dante's laundry because his appearance was a reflection on her. No, he was way too old. Absolutely not. Olivia changed the subject as they made their way into the kitchen. Olivia confessed that she was eager to catch up with Brook Lynn. Brook Lynn took the opportunity to apologize to Olivia about the boy toy comment she had made at Jake's. She hoped that Olivia hadn't taken the remark personally. Olivia brushed it off as she assured Brook Lynn that she was fine with it. Brook Lynn was curious how serious Olivia and Johnny were. Olivia claimed that she and Johnny were taking it one day at a time and then guided the discussion away from her personal life. Brook Lynn pumped Olivia for information about Lulu and Dante's relationship. Olivia bragged that Lulu was a wonderful girl, but that Lulu hated Sonny. Brook Lynn pointed out that Sonny would always be a part of Dante's life because he was Dante's father. Olivia was glad that Dante had someone to talk to who understood that. She hoped that the next time Dante needed to vent, that he'd have Brook Lynn to listen to her. Their heads turned when Lulu arrived. Lulu was surprised to see Olivia and Brook Lynn cooking in Dante's kitchen. Olivia noticed that Lulu held a bag. Lulu explained that she had picked up dinner for her and Dante. Olivia hoped that it would keep because they had made dinner. Brook Lynn assured Olivia that she had everything well in hand, so she invited Olivia and Lulu to sit down and relax. Lulu smiled, but didn't quite reach her eyes. Dante was waiting for Michael when Jason entered the visitor's room. Dante demanded to know where Michael was, and Jason answered, "You get me instead." And then on the 4th, at Dante's apartment, as Brook Lynn and Olivia cooked in the kitchen, Lulu wished she could be of more help. Lulu showed the women the goldenrod flowers she had gotten. Olivia and Brooke informed Lulu that Dante was allergic to that flower. Oh, we need to bring that up somewhere.
Yeah.
Lulu returned after having gotten rid of the flower. Brook Lynn and Olivia reminisced about their shared history with Dante. Lulu tried not to feel left out as Brook Lynn and Olivia described the first time Dante asked Brook Lynn to dance at a wedding. Lulu asked Olivia and Brook Lynn if she could learn the recipe that Dante was so fond of, but they told Lulu that it was something that was passed down from one generation to the next. Brook Lynn looked peeved as Olivia praised Lulu for her fierce loyalty and love of Dante. Lulu tried to stir the risotto as Brook Lynn advised her what to do. Dante arrived and Lulu rushed to greet him. Dante and Brook Lynn shared a warm moment over Brook Lynn's great cooking skills as a jealous Lulu looked on. As Lulu and Dante settled down to dinner, Brook Lynn tried to leave, but Dante insisted that Brook Lynn join them. Brook Lynn protested, but Dante wouldn't take no for an answer. Brook Lynn and Dante bonded over a childhood memory of when Dante had poured sticky syrup all over himself. Brook Lynn had hosed him down after Dante had taken off his shirt, and everyone had thought they were being naughty. As Dante and Brook Lynn laughed, Lulu looked uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a weird freaking story.
So I found the video where this is what I've been doing. I found the video where Carly, whatchamacallit?
Propositions?
No, saw the picture of Brooklyn.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on one sec.
Yep, that's Brook Lynn Ashton with her arm around Dante. Look at the adoring gaze. The goofy smile.
She does appear smitten.
Uh-huh. Look at him. Oblivious. Men. I don't know why it didn't occur to me before. Bensonhurst. Apparently, where all roads lead. Sunny, Olivia, Kate, and of course, Lois Sorella. That's Brooklyn's mother.
Father Ned Ashton.
Mm-hmm, the outsider. But the rest of them, they all grew up together in the old neighborhood. Of course, Brooklyn and Dante would grow up knowing each other. Question is, how well did Brooke want to know Sonny's bastard son? Okay, I want a complete profile on Brooklyn. Where she lives, the status of her music career, her financial situation. Most likely she has a trust fund from Edward. She certainly has a taste for expensive clothes. Wow.
She is quite beautiful.
She is. So are her parents. Bensonhurst puts out lots of dimples.
Dimples?
Never mind. See if you can find any more pictures of Dante with Brooklyn.
Yes, I shall.
Thanks. I'll wait here.
Valkyrie, I know that this investigation has to do with your plan of revenge against the duplicitous detective, but I fail to see how an old neighborhood friendship is relevant. I mean, Dante and Lulu came together as adults with pasts, as in, behind them.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, Spinelli. The past has a nasty way of catching up to you. I'm just going to give it a nudge in the right direction.
Ned Ashton and Lois Cirillo are currently out of the country pursuing entertainment industry endeavors, and Brooklyn resides in a small apartment in Bensonhurst.
Close to family, but not exactly a hip neighborhood for an up-and-coming rock and roller. What's her career status?
Stagnant. Apparently she's had troubles with the law.
Really? What kind of troubles?
Well, disturbing the peace, drunken disorderly, shoplifting, and more recently allegations of credit card fraud.
Wow. Okay, why would a girl with a quarter-made trust fund be involved in credit card fraud?
Well, according to my research, she does not gain access to those funds, which are considerable until she reaches the age of 30.
That's perfect. Brooke's a frustrated musician, living in a hovel around the corner from her grandparents, fond enough of material things to commit crimes, and Mommy and Daddy are letting her stew in her own juices. Perfect. Anything else on the Dante connection?
Well, nothing that speaks to an intimate connection.
Okay, keep working. I have enough to get started.
Can I ask, what are you planning to do?
I'll let you know soon.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you add some more butter and salt, please? I happen to love butter and salt.
Whatever makes the beautiful lady smile.
And a soda, because I've worked up quite a thirst walking through the park all day, you know. Gosh, it is so beautiful out.
That it is.
Thank you. How much?
$4.50.
Oh, no. It's open. I can't believe that I've been walking through the park all day with my purse wide open. I mean, my wallet's gone. Oh my God, my parents are gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. You know, this happened to me 3 weeks ago on the subway. I'm such a nitwit.
There. These things happen.
The subway. I don't even have money to get home. And look, I already tore a piece off of your pretzel.
It's your pretzel. Enjoy it. The soda, too.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's a 10 spot to get you home. People ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Ain't that the truth? It seems there's a thief on every corner these days. Brooklyn, long time no see. Here you go for the pretzel and for being so kind to my good friend.
Oh, not necessary. I'm happy to help.
I insist. Thank you. You have everything you need? Pretzel, soda, subway fare? Great. We have some catching up to do. I'm dying to hear what you've been up to.
Good friends? Wow, exaggerate much? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. You do.
Where's the wallet side pocket?
How long were you standing there, Carly?
Long enough to get an earful. A guy so gullible you didn't have to be good.
So what? Let me guess, you just happened to be in the neighborhood, right?
No. I'm looking for you.
Can't imagine why.
I need a little help with the project I'm working on, but first I'm just dying to know, when does a Quartermain great-granddaughter need to scam for a pretzel and subway tokens? And credit card fraud? I mean, like, wow.
Okay, I don't have to answer your questions.
No, you don't. But you might as well. I'm just going to keep asking because I'm relentless like that.
Yeah, well then get to the point, Carly. What do you want from me and why should I give it to you, huh?
What I want? Cooperation. Why? Because I have lots of money. And I could give you some. I could even make those credit card fraud charges go away. Interested?
So, yeah, I guess the picture that Carly saw of Brook Lynn and Dante was, at least Brook Lynn looked interested.
Romantically involved.
Yeah, so half hour in, 45 minutes in, you know, we got that answer. You can keep going. I was just like, oh, that'd be actually good. Like, I just found it right before you started that spot. So I was like, oh, that's really good to know.
I had to find out where I was then because I had to click off.
It was just as Dante and Brook Lynn laughed, Lulu looked uncomfortable.
Oh, okay, here we go. So at the Metro Court, Spinelli and Carly agreed that after they broke up Dante and Lulu, the next phase of their plan would include the complete destruction of Dante's life and career. Spinelli and Carly decided to execute their plan slowly and in stages. Stage 1 was the breakup of Lulu and Dante. Stage 2 included a long and patient process of planting evidence to set Dante up as a corrupt cop, with Lucky being the one to stumble onto the evidence that would bring Dante down. Carly emboldened Spinelli's resolve by telling him that his cyber skills would bring justice for Jason and Michael. Carly thought that the best way to set Dante up was to plant drug money. Spinelli was sure that he could do the job. Carly warned Spinelli that there would be no backing out once they kicked the plan into gear, and Spinante. My own words here. Spinelli vowed that the deceitful one would pay for what he did to Michael and Jason. And then at Pentonville, Jason refused to let Dante visit Michael. Dante insisted that he was trying to get Michael out of prison, but Jason snapped that Dante would only be able to see Michael once Dante could actually free Michael. Dante didn't think Jason needed to protect Michael from Dante. Jason reminded Dante that Dante had betrayed Michael. Jason believed that Dante was only pretending to care about Michael to get close to Sonny again, and Jason thought Dante was still wanting to build a case against Sonny. Jason told Dante that he'd never trust Dante again. And then after a fabulous meal cooked by Brook Lynn and Dante's loft, Lulu began to feel like a third wheel as Dante and Brook Lynn discussed their mutual life in Bensonhurst. Lulu tried to keep a stiff upper lip, but it was obvious that she felt threatened by Dante and Brook Lynn's shared past. After Brook Lynn left, Dante told Lulu that the for rent sign was gone from the loft across the hall. They laughed and talked about the meal that Brook Lynn had prepared for them. Lulu continued to tease Dante about the girls from his past. Dante responded by telling Lulu that he had fun with all of them, but that Lulu was the only girl he had ever told that he loved. Brook Lynn went to see Carly and told her that their plan was starting to work because she had seen the beginning of insecurity in Lulu after the meal and conversation that they had in Dante's loft. Carly told Brook Lynn that she was speeding up the plan and that she had rented the loft across the hall from Dante so Brook Lynn could live there. Brook Lynn smiled as Carly handed her the keys.
In Carly's living room, Carly handed Brook Lynn a key to an apartment in Dante's building. Brook Lynn wondered how she would explain renting the apartment when she was broke. Carly had thought of that. She explained that Ned's name was on all of the paperwork. My goodness gracious, fraud. So Brook Lynn could claim that Ned had rented the apartment for his daughter to spare her from having to live with the Quartermains. Carly suggested that Brook Lynn could explain that Ned had selected the apartment because he had discovered that Dante, an old family friend and police officer, lived in the same building. Brook Lynn was impressed that Carly had thought of everything. Carly took the opportunity to remind Brook Lynn that she wanted a picture or video of Dante cheating on Lulu before Brook Lynn received any money. At the loft, Lulu and Dante woke up in each other's arms and they started to make love. Lulu recalled Carly telling her, "Tonight, when you're getting horizontal with your heroic Dante, make sure you look him in the eye and you see my son sitting in a cell." Lulu tensed up. Dante was curious what was troubling Lulu. She insisted that she was fine, but Dante continued to sense that something was wrong. Lulu confessed that she had been thinking about what Carly had told her just after Michael's sentencing. "Whew, that's harsh," Dante observed. Lulu agreed that Carly was a pro at pushing buttons. Lulu understood at the time that Carly had been hurt and angry. She was certain that Carly would regret those words since time had passed. Lulu was grateful that Carly had forgiven her. According to Lulu, Carly realized that her own mistake had impacted Michael's life. However, Lulu couldn't help but feel that her happiness with Dante had been at Michael's expense. Dante confided that he felt as if he had let his little brother down. Lulu and Dante got dressed and then went into the living room. Lulu apologized for killing the mood, but Dante blamed Carly. He insisted that what he and Lulu had wasn't anything that they should apologize for or feel guilty about. Lulu agreed, but she felt terrible for Michael. Dante did as well, which is why he was determined to get Michael out of jail. After Dante left, Lulu started to clean up. She decided to investigate when she heard noises in the hallway. Lulu was stunned to see Brook Lynn opening the apartment door across the hall. "What are you doing?" she asked. Brook Lynn, "Moving in," Brook Lynn answered innocently. Dante entered the parlor and he was furious when he saw his parents together. Dante demanded to know what Olivia was doing there. We don't need any of that. At the loft, Lulu lounged in bed while Dante handed her a bowl of cereal. As Dante slipped back into bed, he admitted that he had wished they could stay there forever. Dante acknowledged that they weren't popular with anyone, so no one would care. Lulu had a feeling that Dante's new neighbor would be knocking on his door soon. Dante was surprised to learn that Brook Lynn had moved in next door. Lulu and Dante made their way to the kitchen, where Dante admitted that he hoped to exchange his skills as a handyman for a few home-cooked meals. Lulu half-jokingly confessed that she was starting to feel threatened by Brook Lynn. Dante assured Lulu that she didn't have anything to worry about because Brook Lynn was family. Lulu corrected Dante. Brook Lynn wasn't actually related to him. Okay, so, although Brook Lynn may have seemed like she had a cute little crush or whatever on Dante, he thought of her as family.
Yep.
So, we're squashed. Dante clarified that Sonny was related to him, but Brook Lynn was family. Ooh, point taken, Lulu conceded. Dante pulled Lulu close and began to nuzzle her neck. he promised her that Brook Lynn wouldn't be a third wheel because he was confident that Brook Lynn knew how he felt about Lulu. Dante and Lulu made love afterwards. Man! They cuddled on the sofa.
Young love.
Yeah, but like, I mean, we were just talking about this with Joss and Dex.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember this happening every day with Lulu and Dante, but I seriously think it's been like every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Until Dante decided to give Lulu a batting lesson. He slipped on his boxer briefs and fetched the baseball bat that he had received on bat day at Yankee Stadium in 1994. We're just going to do a quick. Wow, they gave away 12,000 baseball bats to attendees, but it doesn't say what day.
Aw.
It doesn't say what the date was. Oh my gosh. There's an entire, wow. So it would have been June 18th, 1994, and it was the NatWest Bank USA barrel. Ooh, we should so fact check General Hospital to see if that's the bat that they had. There's an entire website dedicated to, it's the Bat Day Dating Guide.
Mm.
The first Yankee Stadium Bat Day ticket stub was June 20th, 1965. Lower stand, $2.50.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Lulu pulled on Dante's shirt and then took the bat from Dante. Dante stood behind Lulu to show her the finer points of swinging a bat. Dante pulled out a pair of socks and then pitched them to Lulu when he was satisfied that she was ready. Lulu smiled with delight when she hit the socks. Their impromptu game of baseball ended when Lulu was called into work. At Greystone Manor, Brook Lynn paid Sunny a visit. Sunny warmly embraced Brook Lynn as he welcomed her into his home. He was curious if Lois had accompanied her, and Brook Lynn explained that her parents were busy working, so she had arrived in town solo. Sunny was surprised to learn that Brook Lynn had moved into an apartment across the hall from Dante. Brook Lynn admitted that she knew that Sunny was Dante's father. She couldn't believe that Olivia had kept the secret for so long. Sunny was eager to hear about Brook Lynn's life in Bensonhurst, particularly in regards to Dante. Brook Lynn happily obliged Sunny by telling him amusing stories about Dante growing up. She started talking about Dante's graduation from the police academy, but stopped when she realized that might make Sunny uncomfortable. Sunny insisted that he admired Dante for having the courage to stand by his convictions, and it was a trait that Sunny shared with his son. Sunny strolled over to his desk and picked up pictures of his other children to show Brook Lynn. Brook Lynn was surprised by how different they looked and how much they'd grown. I thought that was meaning like from each other.
Because they're all from different mamas.
However, she extended an open invitation for dinner whenever Sunny wanted to stop by. She added that she would try to persuade Dante to join them. Sunny bumped into Lulu on the street, and Lulu gave him the cold shoulder, but Sunny ignored it. He was amazed at Lulu's commitment to hating him. Sunny suspected that it must take a lot of energy. It's easy, Lulu assured him. She just had to look at the scar on Dante's chest. Remember when Sunny shot him?
Right.
Sunny insisted that it had been a terrible mistake, but he wondered if they could move past it. Lulu argued that a mistake was not putting a cap back on the tube of toothpaste or forgetting someone's birthday. However, it was not shooting your son in the chest. Sunny pointed out that Dante had chosen not to turn Sunny in, just like Sunny had chosen to forgive Dante for Michael's incarceration. Lulu was outraged by the suggestion that Dante was responsible for Michael's situation. She insisted that Sunny's choices in life had put Michael in Pentonville. Sunny was curious why Lulu was doing everything in her power to make Dante hate his own father if she loved Dante. You did that, Lulu yelled, and she was adamant that she hadn't turned Dante against Sunny. Carly walked up during the argument and asked if everything was okay. Lulu insisted that Sunny was the problem because he wanted her to forgive and forget what he had done to Dante, but it was never going to happen. Carly agreed that Lulu had a right to be angry, but she also pointed out that Sunny was Dante's father and a parent who would fight for his kid. Carly didn't see any middle ground for them. That's because there isn't any, Lulu snapped before she stormed off. Carly suggested that Sunny had been wasting his breath with Lulu because she was young and in love and thought that she knew everything. Dante sprinted to the door when he heard a frantic knock followed by Brook Lynn's desperate pleas for him to open the door. He was stunned when he found Brook Lynn dripping wet and wearing nothing but a towel standing on his doorstep.
That was sneaky of her.
All right, so with that cliffhanger, we're going to stop. So I guess this is going to be a two-parter. So I guess we could probably just push back the annual recap because, that's not really going to change anything. So we'll just push back the annual recap to whatever the week is after the 9th.
Okay.
So this will just go there.
Alrighty.
So we will stop there. I know it doesn't really give us a lot, but it kind of gives a little bit. I mean, we're starting to get into some of the juicier stuff.
Right. At least it gives us the reasons behind everything.
Well, I had forgotten exactly how much backstory there really was to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there really is like a lot of smaller details that actually do. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore the stuff with Sunny, the stuff with Carly, the stuff with Jason, the stuff with Michael, like all of that. So, yeah, it's the three of them, but there's definitely way more people involved. So,
yeah,
I guess join us on Monday to see if they have given us any more information or insight into what the heck they're doing with bringing this information up again.
Right. Have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.